Good afternoon, everybody. It is time for us to finish working on our still life painting. We are still in the acrylic lamp and blessed are stage part 2, which probably is going to be our final stage. So let's go ahead and get our palette all together and filled up with the things that we need. The first thing that we have is our retarder gel. All right, let's get in our burnt umber, and we're going to use a quarter size of all the paint colors that we're going to use today. If we need a little more, we can just add a little more in. Let's get Elysium Crimson. That is our nice red. And I'm going to keep the caps off, so when I get ready, put them to the side. You can know where they are. And a little phthalo blue on our palette as well. And today we are, keep putting the top back on, but my mind is saying to keep it off. Alright, and now our burnt sienna. Even though we have that in our underpainting, we still may need a little bit to make sure we keep with that clearness. I keep taking that, putting that back on. Alright. A little bit of white. Might not need as much white as we did for the background and the lamp, but we are going to use it. And then let's also get some yellow oxide, the yellow. I put a little more of that yellow than usual because, of course, we're making the shades of green. All right, and let's put those colors to the side. We have our water jar ready. You also need your paint brushes. We have a variety of different sizes right here. And I'm going to pull a lot of the sizes out. Right, so that I can be ready. Again, if you're using my cart, my Amazon cart, these ranges 16, 14 all the way to size 0. Okay, so you're getting in that package all of the synthetic colors that you would need for this painting. Okay, so I want to get started. I'm excited to finish this painting up. I'm usually not the type that will stay in a painting for so long, but for the sake of tutorial, I like to break it up so that you can have different stages to paint your painting as well. So we're working in a medium size object right now. So I'm going to find my medium brush, medium to small. I'm going to grab a number 4. For the sake of it, let's get an 8, okay? Let's just get an 8, a 6, and a 0. All of these other big brushes, we use those for the background, okay? So let's put those away, and we have our main focal brushes. I'm going to get those ready. We are using acrylic, so we are going to use water. So let's grab our number 0 brush. Dip it into the water. You should have your rag available. I put mine on the bottom of my easel so that I can just dust the water off, dab the water off, whatever you want to call it, and move on quickly. Looking at our still life, our olive oil right here. I'm going to bring that over just a smidget, okay? We have some yellow olive greens in here. So our goal is to make a yellow olive green. Hello guys on Facebook Live. Thank you for watching. We're going to go ahead and grab some of that gel medium and let's make some of our beautiful greens, okay? I'm going to start up here. So you know the last time I had this tray and boy did it get full. So I'm going to get my yellow, put it in that gel medium because I want the paint color that I mixed to last a little longer. And with that acrylic retarder, it does dry, keep from drying so quickly. All right, I want to get those lighter colors in first. With acrylic paint, I like to work light to dark, okay? Sometimes with oils, I can work from dark to light, okay? The next color that I want to do is look at how little of blue that I actually put on the tip of that brush, okay? That is very, very little. I'm going to mix it in to the yellow that I have. And boy, it is just barely there, but it did change that tint of that yellow some. And you can see up against there, you can see that tint of yellow change to a yellow green. And I really see that nice tint right here in the bottom half of my olive oil. Because why? Because the background and because of the Bible that is sitting on, or book. I don't think it's a Bible. I think it's a book. Yes, it's a book. Okay. But what I want to do, I want to grab some of that burnt sienna too. All right. Just to tone it down a little bit. And it did. Voila. I want to get a little more. How about that? And mix it in there. Okay, that's good. I like it. So I have that color all mixed up, and I can really test it to the object if I needed to. Okay, and I want to find the lightest part of my olive oil. Now, what has happened is the lightest part of my jar, my bottle, is going to be up top. Okay, because I switched around my foreground, which is not light anymore like my still life is because of the light Bible, but it is darker. So my olive oil right here in this area is going to be darker. So where I want to put my lightest yellow green is right in this space right here. Okay, so I'm going to do that, dusting that color right up in there, and I can see now that it is the proper shade of green. You want to know why? Because I already had this value, the monochromatic brown, right there. And so that let me know that this value of green is the same value that I need for my bottle. Keeping in your shadow shapes and the proper lines. It's right here as well. That lighter value. And you know what? Hey, that lighter value hits right down there as well. And right over here, just a smidget right there. The reason why is this light from that background is hitting on the left side. Even behind there, we can see a little bit of that light. So what I want to do is I really want to replicate what I see. There's a shimmer of light right down there. So now you can see how we, well actually you can see the importance of doing that underpainting that we did. Okay, there's process in this, isn't it? All right, leaving that, some of that there. I'm going to thicken that up just a smidget, okay? And when it dries, I might be able to go back over and get a little thicker, but as of right now, I won't. Now, I'm going to keep that beautiful shade of olive green that I made. And it's a light shade of olive green. You want to know why? It's because I'm now about to transition now to this next green color that is in that bottle. Do I want to do that with just the brown? Maybe. But what I want to do is put both the blue, just a smidget, you can see, okay, just barely a dot of that blue into that same green mixture. It's darkening it up already. Then the same amount of that brown to tone it down. Oh wow, didn't that really change the look? If it's gotten any greener, any darker, you don't want it. You want to always start off with a small amount when you're dipping and mixing colors. Twirl that brush around real good to get that color out. Now, we don't want that jump to be so drastic. So we did not put a lot. Now, oh yeah, so right there you can see that color transition was step 2, a step on the what we call a value chart. All right, yes. You want to know what? You know, the top is a little more blue-green, so we'll mix another color for that, okay? Blend the color into each other. You can see how I softly blended the edge between the darker green and that light green, how I blended that together. So it's not such a strong line. If I had to grab a little more of that yellow and kind of blend it into each other. There it is right there. All right, and down here is that next value. Got to blend that in real good too. Keeping this nice and even so I won't have to touch up my edges. Let's see if I can do it. Sometimes I'll lay my canvas or whatever I'm painting on flatter. Okay, I do that on a flatter surface so that I can really touch up those edges just a little more. And I put a little yellow ochre with that to blend those colors naturally into each other. I want to go a little bit darker right down here, guys, with a little more brown. Let me pull some brown in there. Really get that olivey color. Yeah, a little more brown. Starting to come to life. Look at that. See how that brown makes it look even more olive green? And when you get that desired shade, then you're going to come in there and put it in. Very good. Right here, a little bit there. Now the darker that you go, the more brown and blue that you will add. Okay, grab some blue and put it in there then. A little more brown. And let's get the darker values added in. Taking your time. When you want more control of the brush, just hold it more to that silver ferrule part, okay? And when you're painting flat, it does help to do that. If you're not painting flat, using the tip of the brush, give more of looser brush strokes. It really does. I love to play around with the different brush strokes, and to do that I switch up how I hold my brush. Makes a big difference. Yeah, you know what, let me get rid of some of that right there. There we go. Little brown and blue, okay, makes a nice shade of black. Okay, let me put that green down there. More blue, more brown. There it is. Mix it together. Grab some yellow. And I like that color. I'm going to put it right here. The edges have a little more dark values in it. You want to get those lines that represent some of the colors changes. Lines can be shown as color. You know that, right? Yeah, you can. We'll grab some more of that brown in there with that yellow. A little bit of the green still on my brush. That's it right there. That's the color I wanted. Yay me. Alright. And no, we haven't even began to put some of the colors from the foreground into the bottle. And we're going to get to that as well. More of that yellow here. Alright, let's start to do that. Let's grab some white and give a little highlight right there. Got some highlights really hidden on that bottle. It makes it look even more realistic. some lines. It's almost white right there. There we go. Rinse that off. Now I'm ready to get some more lines down here where that light hit. Well, you know what? It doesn't hit on my actual reference photo, but it hits here because there's more light in here. So I don't want to put it, okay? Because I'm trying to just use the reference photo. Let's use some of that burnt umber now, that darker brown, and with that blue and just a little bit of that green that you mixed, all three of those colors together. Then we're going to get some shadows put in. Right? Paying attention to your reference photo and placing those shadows. They're just not somewhere. They are particularly in a space where it belongs. And we have to pay attention to that. And when we do, we're representing the bottle exactly the way it should be. Some more right up there too. Let me get some more brown retarder gel here. And more blue. More brown retarder gel. And mix that together. Let's see what we can get. It's too bluish. I love the natural light coming in. If you have the opportunity to paint using natural light from outside window, do so, because it can really give you a whole different look for your painting. One right there. Open those blinds up. Get some natural light in your space that you are in. If you don't have that, like I mentioned last week, hold on. Baby, sometimes I can't get to talking and painting at the same time. There we go. Okay. Almost holding your breath right there. Get LED daylight bulbs, okay, for the room that you need for your painting. Okay, those natural daylight bulbs give you the natural light that you would need in your space. Hitting that edge up. Now I'm going to grab some red off to the side and some blue to make me some violet. Why? Because violet is in that foreground. Okay, I want to keep a lot of the natural body shape of the bottle, but at the same time I also need to focus on the fact that this blessed oil is clear and transparent. So what I'm going to see inside of the bottle is just not the liquid, but what's behind the liquid. All right, let's see. Your grace and mercy follow me through. Live in this moment because of you. I want to thank you and praise you too. Your grace and mercy. There we go. Follow me through. How got that is. So what I did here was make sure that I'm putting some of those lines and shadows on the edge of this jar. It's all about lines and it's all about shadows. Whether your lines are going to be what you call it, curved or straight. It has a light and it has a shadow. Yes, it does. Everything has a light and a shadow. As you train your eyes to see that, painting becomes so much more easier. It was hard for me to do that when I was taking my master's degree class. For some reason, all the years that I had painted, it was so hard for me to establish reflective light. And I still ain't got it down like I want to have it. For example, here behind that olive green jar, it's called reflective light. It's the light that's in the shadow. It's darker than the shadow, but lighter than the lightest light. Yeah, that makes sense, right? But painting is a whole different story. Honey, I just get completely irritated when it comes to reflective light. And when I think about it, I get it wrong. Right? Usually, when we overthink stuff, we get things wrong. But if I don't think about it, if I think about it, I get it wrong. Oh, I want that to be a little bit darker right up and now. Right in here, I want that to be a little bit darker. I'm going to make some more violet, okay? A little more red in there this time. Put it right here. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. Boom, 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 bam. Right down here. Same thing. Right in this corner. Trying to really look at the reference photo, yet look at my painting too at the same time, because what is behind here must reflect there. Need to put a little more light on this side because I see that reflective light. Ooh, too light. No, 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 no. Reflective light shining through that bottle as well. I want to add white to that. Let's see. Do I? Ha ha. Let's test it out, shall we? It didn't make a big difference. It did and it didn't, right? Okay. Let me put a little more white and see what it do. What it do? What it do? There we go. Okay. It just really made it more of an olive green color. But at least it looked like the jar a little more than what it was at first. There's another highlight right there. I'm going to put a little more lighter right there, right here, right there for reflections of the background, a little more yellow. Now, if you missed out on the, oh yay, I like thinking. All right, if you missed out on the tutorial from part 1, 2, and 3, I need you to go ahead and go back and look at my YouTube channel or my Facebook timeline. They are there, okay? We have comment. I'm loving that. Oh, well, thank you so much, Sister Bridget. You know, girl, even though I've been painting for a minute now, it seems as though I learn something new every time I paint. And that's a good thing, really. Alright, so what I want to do is this green kelp. I'm going to start with some yellow into the blue. And usually that's the opposite, right? We usually start scooping with the lightest color first and then go and blend into the blue color or the darkest color. But for this top, I want to start with blue and then go almost, yeah, and then go lighter. Let me put a little more blue in there. So that meant I'm just painting all up on my finger. And a smidget of yellow. Uh-huh. A little more blue. And let's try some red. And some umber. I'm barely putting that umber in there. I still don't like it. A little more yellow. Let's see. You can play around with your colors and match them up to what you're doing. I still don't like it. So let me start another color section. Blue, the brown. We can go back to that. We might use it. And the yellow. Blue, brown, and yellow. A little more blue than any color. That's almost different, but almost the same. Torn now. What color do I want? Let's just put it on here and see. Oh, yeah. It pretty much works. It works. I don't want to put too much of that. I just don't. Now let me lighten it up with some of this yellow green here. And blend it into the bottom. Top. Yeah, that was better to make it, almost mix it on the canvas, right? Being real nice and neat and careful when you're getting those edges. Edges can disappear on you really, really quickly. We need to make it 3D, creating a shadow on the sides. That's with that violet color. The violet mixed with the green gives you a nice shadow color. I'm going to go darker on my shadow underneath this bottle. I'm going to mix some blue and the brown real quick. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Over here. Making that cap. More 3D. And on this side. Notice how we went dark to light. Dark on the edges, a little more lighter toward that center. Gives it way much more of a three-dimensional look. Reflecting color. We're using lines to reflect those colors is what it is for painting. That's all it is, in my opinion. Once you get that concept down, you're really good to go. It's lighter up here, obviously, because the light is hitting on the object, which is the top. So I want to put that. I want to bring some of the colors from the background to hit on top of there as well. Now this is obviously not close to being finished. I need to grab a smaller brush, but I don't have one. So I'm going to really, really be very careful with making some of the representational lines of the cap. I'm not going to use many of them, but just enough to show that it's a cap, okay? I'm trying not to hold my breath while I'm painting. The struggle is real, y'all. All right. I'm going to let that section right down there dry just a little bit, or I'm going to overwork it. I want to touch up the edge of my bottle cap. So I'm going to mix now the color of my background. Okay, the color of my background in that section right there, if I can. Hopefully I can. I'm going to take a little bit of that white, that yellow, a little red, oh, a little bit of blue. No, that's why I like saving colors, y'all, because I lose the color that I had made already, which was a perfect color. There it is. Got it back. Wow. Smidget of red in there. Okay. Be really careful trimming up what you need to trim up, because you can obviously trim so much that you change the shape of the object, and we don't want to do that. Okay, one continual flowing line going straight down. There it is. Whew. Not gonna spend too long on this bottle, because the longer that you spend on something, the more likely you're gonna mess up. Get it shape, get what it needs to be done, and move on. Okay, I'm gonna re-get those shadows on the side right now for the cap. There we go. Now I need to make sure all of my shadows are correct on my bottle, period. I'm gonna let that dry some more down here. More right there. Let's make a little more that greenish color, the background color, excuse me, and put it right in here. It is a see-through color. A little more of those sienna. That's not a song, but I made up some. Alright. This is the color of the background coming through that bottle slightly, okay? Because that's important too. Anything that's transparent, you need to have the colors from its background peeking through. There it is. So, yes, this is pretty much how you paint your still life painting. Reflective colors, transparent colors. We've gone through a lot of different techniques in just this one painting here, which is phenomenal. A lot of people shy away from doing see-through objects. They don't really know how to paint them, and it was a long time before, honestly, I felt comfortable doing so myself. And really, honestly, I don't feel as comfortable with it as I should now. But I like to test myself, and I like to do things that I obviously would not do on a normal day or for a normal painting. Right? This is how we grow. This is how we get better. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to make myself some darker black color for underneath the shadow. And that will be my burnt umber. That will be my black. I'm making the black. Burnt umber and blue. And a little bit of that violet. I made it more of that shadow color. I'll put some of that green in the shadow, lighter green in the shadow over here. Shadows sometimes reflect the object's color too. I don't want it to be too bright though. Make sure you tone it down a lot. Using that darker shadow color over here to the left. Hello, shadow. How are you? Love it. Remember that I was telling you that some of the colors from the bottle is going to reflect into the shadow as well. So that's what I just did into the shadow lights, the reflective lights over there to the left. Just getting my shape of my bottle down. Again. I keep losing it for some strange reason. Okay, thank you. Wow. Did it really take all that? It did. I haven't even stopped. I haven't even switched over to any other size brush at this point. I have still been with my number 0 brush. And that lets you know how important detail is when using a smaller brush. You don't want to just grab a huge brush and start painting, not unless that's your objective, is to use a large brush for different strokes. Okay. Many artists got different reasons for why they use different brushes. I want to do something transparent. I'm going to take more of this gel. I'm going to take more of the gel than the green color. And I'm using that olive green color, okay? I'm going to come in here and hit some of that gel with the olive green right into this lamp. Just barely some there, just to show that the light is hidden and it's reflected on this blessed oil onto that lamp. And I'm not going to do a lot of that at all, just a little bit, just right there. Okay, now I want to make some black with the burnt umber, the blue, and a little bit of that red. Okay, and I want to really touch up on some darker areas of the lamp. So everywhere that you see the darkest dark value, that's what I want you to do. Okay. I need to get a little bit of that red. Yellow. And a little bit of that red. So I can get this color here. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to use some of this. That's what I wanted right there. Because it's glass. Whoa. To make sure the glass look like it's coming from around the edges of the lamp surface right here. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. And for some reason, it just wasn't working with me. Now what I have here is more reflection from the glass traveling down into the base of the lamp. Shapes. Making the shapes. Some red over too. Some of that red. Come do that at the bottom. Make it a little more cohesive. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking. Make it a little more cohesive when you putting the other colors from the background in every spot that it surrounds. It just really, really helps that object or objects to look even more realistic. Okay, what's my time? Don't want to go too far. Thank you, Miss Steve. Touch up here. I'm gonna have to get really, really close in there. Sorry. I have to you get closer here to give my edges the trimming that it needs so I can redefine the shape that I had. Oops. And this is my dark shadow color. We're mixing that, the red, the blue, the burnt umber, right? The red, the blue, and the burnt umber. Um, I was telling one of my students just this week about making sure that he's still doing some of the art that he loves to do, even on this break, you know. And even if you're not as motivated to do something and it's your passion, you really got to dig in deep and just draw. Just put something down on paper or on canvas. It's important because you can lose some of that desire. Right here, that's these, I guess, I forgot what you call it, the lamp holder coming through the background, the inside of the lamp. So when you hold it, there's a different lamp holder. Put that other color on the other parts as well. So yeah, there's a reason why I decided to do this blessed oil. It's just not random. There's a reason for my madness. Define those shadow shapes really well to make the object look like it's what it's supposed to be. Adding some yellow in there because the light reflects on every part of the lamp. I'm about to finish up here so that I can make sure I don't go above the time. It's hard to put this on YouTube or yeah, on YouTube basically, because if the time is too long. But I also hate to go so quick that I miss giving some important information for our painting. See, I got a little too dark there, so I'm going to lighten it up some more again. There we go. Got a little concave. More yellow. More yellow glow coming through there. A little highlight. Need to find the highlight back again. Was the yellow and the white. There we go. Snap, snaps. It's a do show wider in there because of the, I guess, the concave look of the whole glass. Okay, let me get some more red on here. Background color in. That's not it. I just love mixing colors, but I need a bigger tray. I'm gonna need a bigger mixing tray. Cause your girl here keep mixing so many colors in the background, and I put all those colors in the actual painting. I run out of space. Thank you, Jesus. There we go. Hold my wrist, cause this old thing here just be giving me a hard time. You hear me? There we go. Get that rustic look. All right. Yep. Yep. Give them some texture. Base has to have that rustic color look in it. It's almost a blackish green color. It's so rusty. Reds and violets down in there. There we go. I've truly enjoyed painting this. I really have. What am I missing? Let me look a good look at it. Make sure that I have everything that reflects the shape and the colors. Okay, let's test. We are complete. I don't want to go any further in here. So I want to test out what we have to make sure that everything looks presentable. We have our shadows, we have our lights, we have our shapes, we have color reflecting from the background into every single object. Shape here is a little off, so let's see if I can fix that. This is dipping in a little more than on that side, so let's get that green color again. Get really close to it. If yours is okay, keep yours like that. Mine's not. Better. Way better. Yes. Way better. Kind of make that softer. That's fine. The background touch-ups in this background down here. There's some touch-ups with some different shadow lines, and I could have switched over to another brush at this point, but I didn't. No big deal. And that's it. Y'all, if I feel like if I do any more to this, it could just really go south. And we don't want that at all. Got this in here. This for that. Right there is supposed to be for the container that holds the wick. Not the wick, the candle. So I'm going to make that a little more circular. Thank you. All right. Let me sign my name. Where? Got so much going on here. And where should I sign my name? Help me. I'll sign my name somewhere, but I don't know where at this point. So I'll do that in a little bit, as soon as I sit and stare at it for a while. All right, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this painting lesson, that you have gotten something out of it, from light and shadow and value and contrast and a little bit of everything at this point. If you find that you need to step away from it and fine-tune, touch up some things, do that before you sign your name. That will be good, like its edges are okay. This here, remember that this is that old and rustic look, so you don't have to have such perfection in the coloring. Just dab. Don't forget those highlights and keeping that light, reflective light on those objects really visible, especially like right there. There should have been a little more reflective light, and right there. So what we want to do is make sure that we keep those highlights really bright, even if you have to. That's not it. I just love mixing colors, but I need a bigger tray. I'm gonna need a bigger mixing tray. Cause your girl here keep mixing so many colors in the background, and I put all those colors in the actual painting, and I run out of space. Thank you, Jesus. There we go. Hold my wrist, cause this old thing here just be giving me a hard time. You hear me? There we go. Get that rustic look. All right. Yep. Give them some texture. Base has to have that rustic color look in it. It's almost a blackish green color. It's so rusty. Reds and violets down in there. There we go. I've truly enjoyed painting this. I really have. What am I missing? Let me look a good look at it. Make sure that I have everything that reflects the shape and the colors. Okay, let's test. We are complete. I don't want to go any further in here, so I want to test out what we have to make sure that everything looks presentable. We have our shadows, we have our lights, we have our shapes, we have color reflecting from the background into every single object. Shape here is a little off, So let's see if I can fix that. This is dipping in a little more than on that side. So let's get that green color again. Get really close to it. If yours is okay, keep yours like that. Mine's not. Better. Way better. Yes. Way, way, way better. Kind of make that softer. That's fine. The background touch-ups in this background down here. Just some touch-ups with some different shadow lines, and I could have switched over to another brush at this point, but I didn't. No big deal. And that's it. Y'all, if I feel like if I do any more to this, it could just really go south. And we don't want that at all. Got this in here. This for that. Right there is supposed to be for the container that holds the wick. Not the wick, the candle. So I'm going to make that a little more circular. Thank you. All right. Let me sign my name. Where? Got so much going on here. And where should I sign my name? Help me, help me, help me. I'll sign my name somewhere, but I don't know where at this point. So I'll do that in a little bit as soon as I sit and stare at it for a while. All right, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this painting lesson, that you have gotten something out of it, from light and shadow and value and contrast and a little bit of everything at this point. If you find that you need to step away from it and fine-tune, touch up some things, do that before you sign your name. That will be good, like its edges are okay. This here, remember that this is that old and rustic look, so you don't have to have such perfection in the coloring. Just dab, dab, dab. Don't forget those highlights and keeping that light, reflective light on those objects really visible. Especially like right there, there should have been a little more reflective light, and right there. So what we want to do is make sure that we keep those highlights really bright, bright, even if you have to. All right here is ending our session. We have put in a lot of different reflective light. We've added color from the olive blessed oil into other parts of the painting, and I'm really liking that section. We kept it nice and loose and free with line expression. And from that point on, if you want to come in and kind of touch up some maybe lines and shapes that you see, you can do that. Other than that, you can call it quits and sign your name. All right, I hope you have enjoyed our painting session, and I will see you guys another time. Bye bye.